Hi all, welcome back to another draft. Open a pack with one card that's just clearly better than the others, really. Like, it's a fairly deep pack in terms of playables. There's a couple of mere asceticism, which is, I think, better than people give it credit for. I've been liking this card more and more recently, just because some decks can't really beat it, like the control decks that have a bunch of removal just really struggle to beat it. But Ember Smith is just better than the other cards, really. And there's not much to consider in terms of what we're passing, what we might get back. So I'll take the best card. And this is a pretty interesting pick, actually. Both these cards are really good. Volition Reigns. I used to say Volition Reigns is a trap, and I don't really like blue. I actually think blue's now my favourite colour in the set. That kind of sounds odd to say, but the fact that blue's so underdrafted just means I like blue. Like, I just like picking up Sky Skulls, Sea Striders, Volition Reigns really late. And even though Trigon, we'll definitely play the Trigon, no matter what deck we play, and it's a really powerful card, I think I'd actually rather just take the Volition Reigns, hope to cut blue as hard as possible, and hope that the gamble pays off. This is probably, assuming we play it, this is better than Trigon, but the Trigon obviously has a much higher chance of getting played, but I think I'd rather be in blue than any other colour at the moment, so I'll jump into blue and hope the gamble pays off. Having said that, I think I'm fine to pass a Trinket Mage. Although I took the Volition Reigns, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to force blue because of this now. I only waste one pick if I take this out of the draft, so I think I'm going to take the Perilous Mage now, which is a lot closer in power to Trinket Mage, and Trinket Mage isn't a complete bomb. So yeah, I'll take the Perilous Mage, which I'm more likely to play. I like Trinket Mage a lot, actually, and I think it's probably a bit better than Perilous Mage this early because you can pick up stuff it finds. But I'm going to take the Perilous Mage just because I 100% will play it, and I prefer the controlling strategies to the aggressive ones. Although I don't really like Perilous Mage as much as I used to. It doesn't really fit into much. It doesn't complement any plans other than just stalling the ground, which is obviously something I'm happy to do if I've got Volition Reigns. Yeah, my last Christmas draft didn't go down too well, although none of my drafts do, to be honest, on YouTube comments, but I think people didn't realise that I was doing it as a kind of jokey draft and not particularly trying to make it a techie one, but I suppose people never think I draft well anyway. After all that, I'm just going to take the Sky School, just because it's really good. It's a 5-mana 3/3 flyer, and it draws a card. By that point, you pretty much are drawing a card, because you usually, I like running 18 lands in this kind of deck, so you usually have at least a land to discard. And it's always the card you want to draw when you're top decking. So, I don't really mind passing Silver Replica, I don't really like green. So yeah, I'll take this Scale School. Also, if anyone's interested, I get a lot of comments saying, why doesn't Matteo get his own channel, and why is Evan putting these up? I've said it in the comments a bunch of times, but the reason they're going up on Evan's channel is that I make them for Star City Games, and Evan works at Star City Games, so he puts them on his channel because it's the channel that's affiliated with Star City Games. I would put them on my channel if Star City Games weren't paying me to make them, but they are, and so it's entirely up to them where they put them. It's not me that's actively taking over Evan's channel and putting them there, just to clear that one up. And there's a turn slag here, which is just better than the other cards. There's really not much discussion there. I do like Disperse quite a lot, actually, but it's nowhere near as good as Turn Slag, which is quite often a 2-for-1. There's not a whole lot to be discussed here. There's not a whole lot exciting here. That's what I meant to say. There is a fair amount of discussion. Gruff decks go to Skeleton. It makes bad decks good. I think Dan Gardner told me that once. That's a nice way of describing it. It's it's one of those cards that is pretty bad, but you can randomly win with it, like Tainted Strike, that kind of card. But I think rather than taking that, which might be useful, I'm just going to take the Berserkers. In fact, there's really not much choice here. I'm just going to take the Hill Giant. Hill Giants are fine in this kind of deck because they block well, and once you've cleared the way with removal, they also attack pretty well. So this pack is actually a pretty good one. There's a bunch of cards here that I have first picked in the past. We're kind of committed to red-blue. I don't think we can branch into another colour just for one of these cards. Unless we open, a Sunblast Angel, we're not going to start considering changing. I think I'm just going to take the Clone Shell. Like, Illuminated Drake's not that good. And Clone Shell can be quite good in this deck because it blocks. Obviously, they never want to attack into it. And if you get stuff like Barrage Ogres and that sort of thing, Clone Shell can be fine. Especially if I pick up a Dragon or two, which I still have 2 packs to do. And New York Replica is pretty much perfect as well. I like this a lot more than these two. Like, Hot Order seemed really good when the set came out, but it's really hard to pass up with 3 mana unless you like turn 2 play to Sea Strider and just stop them in their tracks. But you really need the 2-drop, otherwise this is often just a dead draw and you never want to keep it up. I said I liked Disperse earlier, but I think I'd rather take the Flight Spellbomb here, because with blue being underdrafted, like, Disperse and Spellbomb would have gone earlier if more people were in blue. But, like, this is... I pretty much always play Flight Spellbomb just because it cantrips. It can randomly get people, and then there's also always the Trinket Mage thing. Like, if I do pick up Trinket Mage, I've now definitely got a target. And you can usually pick up Disperses quite easy. Like, I'd rather have 2 Spellbombs and a Disperse than 2 Disperse and a Spellbomb. And take the Invisimance, which I probably won't play. Whumph. And like I said, the Disperse tabled and came around late, which is, yeah, just a good sign that blue is generally open. And we get a Gavalier as well. Last pick scrapped. The guy to my right really wants to put me in blue. Like, the only reason you'd pick a land over a spell is if you really want to tell them to play the spell. So that's a pretty good sign that the guy on my right is saying play blue. So yeah, we can we can now be sure to stick with blue in this pack. Oh man. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the demon. Like, it's either that or a Manamere, and I could end up discarding red if I get a bunch of really good black. So yeah, I'm just gonna, like, these two are absolute bombs, and I think the demon is slightly better. They're both completely insane. And yeah, I'm pretty sure the demon is, like, this is a 9 and this is a 9.1. And like, the only cards I definitely play here are Iron Mirror or Sea Strider, so I'll just take that. I might even table the Sea Strider. You also might notice my voice is a bit rough today. I kind of lost it a bit last night, so again, apologies for that. I might sound even more monotonous and boring than usual. Although, I can't really apologise for the British accent. I know that annoys some of you. Having just taken that demon, I'm probably not going to start looking to draft black. Like, obviously it was the first pick, so you can't take a signal reading from it or anything. And Galvanic Blast is just the best card in this pack. And I need a lot of early game at the moment, because I've got, like, the Volition Marines turn, Slag the Scale School for late game. So yeah, Galvanic Blast is one of the best cards I can get right now. Like, I'd rather have an Arc Trail, but obviously Galvanic Blast will do. And there's an arrest. Is it too late to switch into white? I'm joking. But I am kind of tempted by that Empyreon. Like, New York Replica is the kind of card I want in this deck. But then, I don't know if it's good enough to take when Empyreon... Like, Empyreon's just a massive gamble, I might not even play it, but if I end up with enough Manamere, enough blockers, enough removal that I can justify playing this, like, it is just, you play it and you win, basically. If they can't deal with it, you do just straight up win. So, yeah, it's pretty good to pop off a Clone Shell as well. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Empyreon. Like, considering how blue's underdrafted, there's Replica, Rebuttal, and Flight Spellbomb in the pack. And one of the blue drafters might take, like, Arrest or Glider, so we might actually table a card from that pack. But I'm just going to take the Empyreon. And normally, I would prefer Silvermere. Like, I like the 2 Manamere a lot more than like the 3 Manamere, just because you normally have a 4-drop to make, and this doesn't accelerate into 5-drops any more than Silvermere does. Like, you always have a bunch of 5-drops in the blue-red deck, as you can see here. I'm really starting to build some up. But because I now have the Empyreon and the Volition Reigns, I think it's probably better to take the Palladium Mare now. And just hope I won't need the colour that Silvermere provides. But yeah, in general, in this kind of deck I do prefer 2 mana to 3 mana, even though this obviously makes more mana for the cost. It doesn't make a turn 3 Blade Trap Berserkers to block, or Darkslick Drake. I really like Darkslick Drake. Hopefully I can pick one up in the third pack. I think it's probably a bit too late to get Darkslick Drake now, even if there aren't many blue drafters. Like, there should be one taking to my left, or like one, 2, or 3 places to my left should be taking Darkslick Drake if they're in blue. And I guess I'll just take another Palladium Mare. I think that's better than a Perilous Mare. Or is it really? Yeah, Perilous Mare is not very exciting. It does just block. Although I'm kind of worried about the fact that Palladium Mare only makes colourless mana. Because in this kind of deck you really do just need a bunch of coloured mana. Because if you look already, I've got like 10 Slag Volition Rains, and then just a bunch of early stuff in both colours. I might actually just take the Perilous Mare. Yeah. It just defends really well. I'm only losing to flyers at the moment, by the looks of it. So, I mean, it works better with Embersmith as well, because you can go turn 2 Embersmith, turn 3 ping. I probably didn't need to say that. Thanks, Captain. But yeah, I think with what I have, the Perilous Mare is better. And kind of want that Sky School. I'm not sure if it's better than Silvermere though. I'm going to hide this Carnifex Demon because we're definitely not playing it now. No, the thing is, I always gamble and don't take the Mare because I think I'll get some in the third pack, and then I never do. So I think, even though I really want that Sky School, it's just the better card. But I think it's better to just take the Silvermere and play it safe. That is a very late arrest. And I think I might take it. Looks like I should have been in white, but yeah, I'm just going to take that arrest. Like, Strider Harness isn't particularly good in my deck. I'll never activate Kurtark, and this is just a Darksteel Mare, so probably won't end up needing enough playables. If I do, I'll regret it, but I don't think I can play that arrest. And yeah, Glimmerpoint Stag is also really good, but then so is Golem Artisan, so I'm not going to take Stag, as I hate drafts when there's a much better card in the pack. It's good with Palladium Mare, something to sink all your mana into. I could do with a Grand Architect now. That would be a nice open in the third pack. So yeah, we know what we're looking to open. And luckily for us, we got another Mare. I kind of want to take the Sea Strider here, but they come around really late. Like, I'll almost definitely get one in the third pack. And although I do really like Sea Strider, I'm just going to take the Mare. On the Mana Mare, I rate them lower than most people, because most people just take them because they've been told Mana Mare are good. Like, they're good, but only in the right kind of deck. If you're an aggro deck, these are just really bad. Like, I really don't like playing these. I don't like playing, like, more than one, if any, Mana Mare in aggro deck, just because they mess up your curve completely. Unless your deck is all Chrome Steeds. Like, the fact that you might be able to accelerate once in a while does nowhere near make up for the fact that it's a completely dead draw on turn 6 or whatever. Like, people, I'm going to take the Sea Strider while I'm talking. People always, when they go through what a card does, they always only picture the ideal situation. So they say, oh, you make a turn 2 Mirror, it lets you make a turn 3-4, drop it, gives you Metalcraft quickly. But like, that's if you get the nut draw, and then you've got the nut draw, so it doesn't matter. If you draw it on turn 6 and it's a 1-1 and you don't have Metalcraft in your deck, then you'll wish you hadn't picked the Mirror, or like you weren't playing 4 Mana Mirror in your aggro deck. So that's why I don't like Mirror. Basically, I only like Mirror in this kind of deck where you really need to accelerate and start making your big spells before your opponent kills you. And I also like them in a deck that goes second, like this one. I think I'll probably be drawing with this deck, which means the 2 Mana Mirror are quite crucial to pick up the lost tempo. But in most decks, people just kind of snap pick the Mana Mirror without even thinking about why they'd be taking the Mana Mirror. They just think, oh well, I've been told Mana Mirrors are good by Louis Scott Vargas, so I'll take the Mana Mirror. But yeah, just think about whether you actually need the Mana Mirror before taking them. just because they're Manamir. I'm almost definitely not playing that Kurtark. I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 artifacts, I suppose. It looks like someone's goof grabbing. I don't think someone would take a land over Shikari, but I don't think it's worth me hating a Shikari either. And Dissipation Field is very rarely good. I had it once with Painful Quandary, which was quite cool, and I won that draft, but I very, very rarely play Dissipation Field. Like, it often just comes back to bite you when they make a Scrap Melter, and you can't stop it hitting you. So it's like, yeah, they've just got a bunch of value after that. I get a Kurtark anyway. Alright then, well, another Kurtark. Putrefax is not a Grand Architect, and this pack is just generally very bad. I don't have a heavy arbalest, and I can't really plan on getting one at this point in the draft. So I don't think I'll take Soliton just because I have 4 or 5 drops I'm happy to play already. I might take the Lumingra Drake actually, although that's almost definitely tabling. Yeah, I guess the Lumingra Drake is more likely to table than Soliton. So I'll just take the Soliton. Like, there's nothing here worth hate. I don't think I want to hate the Putrefax. When I can, like, I didn't really pass that much Infect in the first pack. I passed like a Nika Clawmere and a Nika Rats and not a whole lot else. Maybe a Cisbear at some point. So I don't think people to my immediate left will be in poison, and so they might not take the. So they might take the Putrefax in fear of the Infect guy without actually playing it themselves. But in the meantime, I'm going to be picking a 4/3 fly for 4 and pass the Cisbearer to the Putrefax guy. So yeah, hopefully, because that pack was generally weak, like there weren't that many strong cards, hopefully someone who's more into hate drafting than me is just gonna chop that out of the draft. But if not, like, it's only a Putrefax, I can deal with a Putrefax, because my opponent A might not draw it, B it might not kill me, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's like, it's good, but it's not a complete bomb. Like, I'd rather face a Putrefax than a Tangle Angler, for example, but I'd also rather take a Dragon of Corruption, because I'm going to play it and it's pretty good. And yeah, kind of want that Shatter, but I think I'm going to take the Volition Reins. This pack is really stacked. Like, Slice and Twain and Mearsmith are borderline bombs, Volition Rain is a bomb, and Shatter is efficient removal. But yeah, I'm just take the Volition Reins. It is the best card in the pack, basically, and it's in my colour. I'm probably not going to play this Hellion, so I can cut that. I'm probably not going to play the Kurtarks either. Like, that's a maybe. But I'm just going to go and check how many playables. I'm almost definitely not playing Invisimancer. I am 100% not playing Auriok Replica. And probably not playing this because I have a lot of late game. So that's 24, yes. I'm not going to be short of playables, basically. So I can pick the splashy cards rather than, like, hate draft stuff at this point, rather than the safe playables. Having said the splashy cards, is Grind Clock splashy? The only trouble with Grind Clock I'd have is I wouldn't probably lose to it myself. Imperion does nothing against Grind Clock. But having said that, I think I would rather have enough Colormere just because I do have all this late game. I mean, I have 2 Volition Reins to deal with a Grind Clock, and chances are it won't even get played. So, oh man, I was really excited to see that Dark Slick Drake, and then I saw the Argent Sphinx, and I'm pretty sure I'd take the Sphinx here. Even though, like, Dark Slick Drake is really perfect for my deck, I'm pretty sure double the power and a Flicker effect makes up for the fact. I'm not saying this just to sound techie or something. I am really tempted by the Dark Slick Drake. It does just stop so many decks in their tracks. But yeah, Argent Sphinx is just so good. Especially when you've got the 2-drop Mirror, of which I now have 3. But yeah, I think we can safely say blue is open. Which, I mean, we got the message when we got the Scrap Diver Sea Serpent 15th pick in the first pack. I guess red is also open. Yeah, I'm not going to play Chrome Steed because I don't have enough artifacts. whereas I am going to play Embersmith because it's pretty sick, even if you only have like 8, 9, 10 artifacts. And assuming I play all these, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, well 10 I guess. I might not play the Clone Shell or the Soliton, or the Imperium doesn't really count because it costs too much, and you're not playing it to get value off Embersmith really. So I think we can assume I'll have 10 artifacts at this point. Although, having said that, Embersmith has gone down in my estimations recently. Like, it's just a case of some decks just can't beat it. Like, some decks just straight up concede to Embersmith. But then there are also others where it doesn't do much against. Like, against my deck, it wouldn't bother me that much. It might kill a Mana Mirror every now and then. Oh, Cerebral Eruption. Yeah, I think I'll take that. Just wondering if I want that Neuric Replica. Like, Neuric Replica is really good in my deck. It is basically the ideal card. Just because I have so much power that I'm not bothered about any form of aggression. But I think Cerebral Eruption, like, last time I had this in the draft. In fact, the last draft I won for this site, I 3-0'd with blue-red. And my deck was a lot worse than this one. But I'm saying in that deck, Cerebral Eruption was really good for me. So, yeah, I guess I'll take it and maybe play it. And the Drake Table, as expected. Do I still want it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 10, probably. Like, I doubt I'm going to get Mental Craft. I might take Twisted Image. Just so I can draw into stuff. And it's also good with Argent Sphinxes, because you can block their 3/3s. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Twisted Image. I'm very unlikely to play Immigrant Drake. And the other Drake tabled. But at this point, I think I'm just going to take the Untamed Might. The last thing I want to do with a deck as powerful as this one is just lose to the poison guy that snuck through a token or something. So yeah, like I was saying, I actually have a bunch of playables at this point, so I can easily hate draft without worrying about what's going to go in my deck. Like, I've got 30 cards here, 29, not including this, so I'm probably going to cut Image, Rebuttal, couple of Berserkers, so that's 29, so that's 25, Soliton, Clone Shell 23, and then I'll think about Tancord is a welcome addition to the sideboard. So yeah, I think about, I don't know what I was saying. You probably know what I was saying. I just completely lost my train of thought because I started thinking about Wall of Tanglecord and about how everyone's saying about how amazing it is. It's really not that amazing. Like, in this kind of, like, it's worse than Pleased Sea Strider in this deck, basically. Far worse, just because there aren't that many things with 5 and 6 power. Like, I'd only play it in a green deck unless I really, really needed the ground defense. But because I have 2 Perilous Mere, Sea Strider, Replica, I really don't need the ground defense, and so I'll almost definitely not play it. Like, it's cute and everything with Coppermere, which I do have, to be fair, but it's still unlikely that I'll get that, and it's unlikely that it'll be worth its weight in my deck. And I might actually end up playing this Trigon of Thought, probably not main deck, but I might board it in. I'm not too bothered about passing Terra next because of my Volition Reigns. Get building. I'll add the obvious includes first and then go back and see what I'm missing. So, like, only the best cards, basically. Which is quite a few, to be honest. I don't think I can include Coppermere in the best cards for now. I'm going to include Flight Spell though, just because I have the double Embersmith. There's a lot fewer cards here than I thought. I suppose I did only include the best ones. I think, yeah, I'm going to play Cerebral Eruption. Just because it was so good for me last time, and I like being results based, even though you should never be results based. Well, not never. Sometimes it's good to be results based. As in, it's good to try out a card and see if you like it, but it's not good to say, oh, in my last draft I hit every time, therefore it's good. That's fairly bad logic. Oh, I didn't include my Artisan. So that's 20. I think I'm going to include this Coppermere, just because I have this late game. I suppose that's a creature, so I can put that there. Empyrean, disperse. Some berserkers. I might play one berserkers just as a creature. In fact, yeah, I'm going to include that berserkers. Rebuttal's worth considering as well. I probably don't want the... I might board in the Sea Strider, but I'm not going to start with it just because I have like quite a lot of early ground defense anyway. So yeah, now the question is, which one of these do I play? I'm so tempted by that Empyrean. I'm just scared that I'll end up with like a bunch of Volition Rains and Empyrean in my hand and not the mana to cast them. But then I do have quite a lot of ways of producing mana. I'm going to play 17 land, 3 mana Mere, Spellbomb, 4 mana Mere with Palladium Mere. Yeah, talk myself into it. Like, that's almost a 16 land deck, but I guess if I play Empyrean, it makes it a 17 land deck. Although I also kind of want to play this Disperse. Because the only way I'm gonna... I suppose I have Volition Rains. The only way I'm gonna lose is if someone makes like a Mimic that and I just can't deal with it. So I could Disperse, slow them down a bunch, but I suppose I have double Volition Rains. I did have like more ways of drawing cards, so stuff like Darkslick Drake and Scale Schools. But I think for now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 artifacts. So yeah, none of the Metalcraft cards are worth considering. Again, I made my point for Wall of Tanglecord. I'm going to see what Dan Gardner thinks, actually. I'm talking to him on MSN in the side window, which you can't see, towards this direction. I think this build is the best I can make game one. Like, there are a bunch of cards I can switch in now. If I see a bunch of bombs, I can board in Disperse and set Rebuttal. If they have really aggressive deck, I can bring in Sea Strider. Dan's response is Empyrean Armani. You can... There you go. if you want evidence of what Dan's response was, helpful as ever. I guess that's a yes. I asked him if I play Empyrean on one of the cards that's up here, so yeah, I'm just gonna add lands and submit. Like, I have a lot of options post board, so we can switch it up a bit between games. Although I think I'm going to dub this week, because I said I was going to. I might do the Michael Jacobs style, where I dub over the replays, because that seemed to go down quite well. 10-7. Yeah, I suppose that's fine. I got double Volition, double Argent Sphinx. I'm thinking about 11-6, but I suppose with 10, with Sylvemere, 10 is like 11 sources. And double Smith and Galvanic Blast want to come out early, so yeah, I think 10-7's fine. Done, submit, see you for round 1.